Welcome to Panto-splaining, a video podcast described recently as a portal into the netherworld. And another person said, I laughed so much at Ben's Adam Woodyat voice, I nearly choked to death on Ribena. So, strong reviews for the last episode.
A portal to the nether regions, wasn't it?
No, that's Elf. That's the Elf podcast we do. That's very different and very similar, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But no, that's a different thing we do with splaining in the title. This is panto-splaining, where me, Ben Baker,
and me, John Matthews,
look at a pantomime poster from the past. A lot of P's, as always. And basically, we don't talk about the pantomime as much itself, but we are fascinated about these images. And we're going to waste no time in getting into this week's.
And there it is.
Oh,
look at that.
Oh, I mean, one...
Yeah.
Let's ignore some of the aspects of it.
We'll either get to that later or we'll gloss over it later. But rest assured, viewers,
it could
one
be.
of those things will happen.
Yeah, it could be both. But more importantly, we've got into Cardiff. We've got to Wales. We've got somewhere else. We've been trying to sort of dig our way out of the...
North East.
So, it was nice we found this one, which is from the 9th of December 1989, it ran until the 20th of January 1990, bursting into a new decade with a flourish.
Can you remember what you were doing at the turn of the decade?
I mean, obviously, it's a era of Madchester and warehouse parties and proto grunge.
Yeah.
But I was at primary school, so I was a good
So grunge,
a good audience for
grunge
this.
was right then.
As in grubby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My memory of the turn of the decade was that I received for Christmas 2 cassettes, 808 States 90 album and Lily on the Beach by Tangerine Dream. That's where I was.
I mean, 90's good. I don't think I've heard that Tangerine Dream album. I have listened to quite a bit of their stuff, 70s and 80s Virgin era stuff, but...
It was all a bit digital by then.
Well, no worries about that here on Panto-splaining, where, as I said, we've got... I'm trying to say smorgasbord, but, you know, in Welsh. But I assume Welsh people say smorgasbord.
It does sound a very Welsh sort of word, doesn't it?
If I did it in the voice, which I'm not going to do...
Don't do the voice. This poster, it's a proper classic panto poster, isn't it? Full colour, big heads. They're sort of cartoons, but they're obviously traced off photographs. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah,
they're nicely painted, though. It's nice, possibly too good for what it actually is.
Well, the only thing wrong with this poster, and then, you know, we love panto posters, and one thing we love about the panto posters is every name explaining why they're famous. And there's only one name here.
Yeah, TV Bergerac, who we'll get to shortly. He's the only one who gets a naming thing, and he's probably the most famous at that point of all of them.
Yeah.
Very odd, because Heidi High had finished by that point, I believe. We'll go for Ruth Maddock first. Normally we have one name which is kind of higher up than the other one, but these are very much an equal billing, aren't they?
Yeah, they're obviously co-stars.
Although John has got a bigger hat, so it touches more space.
It touches our hearts as well.
Touched none of my parts, and I refused to be there at the time it didn't happen. But question, before we get into the actual pantomime, it says sponsored by Cadbury's Fudge.
Oh, yeah.
How much do you reckon a fudge was?
Well, that is a good question.
In 1989.
1989.
It is a good question. I'm a good man for.
He's a professional, isn't he, listeners? A finger of fudge in 1989. I'm going to say 12 pence.
Well, from the advert I could find, which was from Birmingham, so maybe there were spikes there, and 10 pence. 10 pence.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
16 pence for a Mars bar. 17 pence for Cadbury's Flake, which seems dangerously exotic compared to the other ones, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Rolo, 17p. Whisper, 16p. And Bird Sugar-Free Angel Delight, pack of 3, 45 pence. So that's it. And Plain Dyed Face Flannels, 25p.
We should stock up.
I might do this. I mean, that would be the only real good use of time travel, to just go back and buy defunct items. of which the fudge isn't, because the fudge is still very much a thing in the shops and high schools of the world.
However, the rest of this poster is largely filled with defunct items.
Well, certainly our first name on there, Ruth Maddock, is no longer with us. Her and Nettle seem to have worked together a fair bit on pantomimes. I looked, and I found them as far back as 1985 when they were in Babes in the Wood in Manchester with Les Dawson. And Do you know what Ruth Maddock's real name is? Because, well, she married Philip Maddock, the actor, and kept his name.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know.
It's Margaret Ruth Llewellyn Baker.
No. Is she related?
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see. I'm going to find out. I'm getting straight on that genealogy after this. Am I related to Gladys Pugh off of Heidi High? Which, of course, was her most famous role.
Hello, campers. Rise and shine.
That had run from 1980 to 1988, and it's still very much beloved in it. For, it's one of those that gets a lot of repeats still, I would say.
Every single person of a certain age, i.e. a lot of ages, if they see a xylophone, they pick it up, they go bing, bing, bong, Heidi High campers. It's instinctive.
Yeah. Although I must admit, as a kid, I'm not sure I realised it was meant to be set in the 1950s.
Do you know what? I didn't. It was just a holiday camp, and the time, the era wasn't made clear to a child.
No, it's the same with Happy Days as well, but then, again, it was just like, because that was American culture, it was like, well, is that... I assume just people always go around punching jukeboxes and going, hey, I'm at the phones.
I think for a long time I thought Happy Days was actually made in the 50s. I think I was surprised to find out it was the 70s.
It's weird because this is 89, so it's a year after Heidi High's finished, and her career kind of crashed a little bit after Heidi High. She never seemed to find another particularly big role for ages.
I was looking her up and I couldn't really find anything interesting about her. She's never disgraced herself. She's never done anything terrible. She's never said anything racist. She's just had a sort of ongoing career of never really reaching the heights of Heidi High ever again.
Yeah. Although, like all Welsh actors are obligated, she was in a production of Under Milkwood by Dylan Thomas, the 1972 film version with Liz and Dick. That's Taylor and Burton to you, not Liz... Sheridan off of Alf.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Spring. Yeah. Dick Spring Dyke, yeah.
She was actually born in Norwich, so I'm saying she's English, quite frankly.
No, we want the Welsh to like this. We're trying to expand, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. And we're by not doing the voice.
By not doing the voice, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said she hasn't disgraced herself.
Oh, has she? Oh.
No, she's got 3 entries on Discogs.
No.
Yeah, all partnered.
Okay.
So the first is with Children from the King's School, Eli.
Right.
And they released Following a Star on Watts Co Records.
Oh, my
which
God.
Which only otherwise seems to put out singles by someone called Phil Watts.
Right, okay. That is quite a cover, isn't it? That is quite a cover.
Another was with the City of Eli Community College Choir. But the best of the lot was on Sign Records in 1988.
Yeah.
Have a look at Ruth Maddock and Bill Tarmey.
Wow.
With Our Song of Love. Look at that.
They couldn't get them in the same studio together to have their pictures taken.
God, no. Can you imagine? Only because of the fan hype, you know, because, I mean, they were both pretty big still in 88.
Yeah.
Tarmey being from Corrie, of course. And I asked our pal Reese, who is from that Wales, about Sign Records, just to see what the thing was. And he said it was pretty respected, at least in the late 60s and through the 70s. Released a lot of pop and rock stuff. In the Welsh language sphere, probably the leading label for most of that period. Became a bit less cool in the 80s, especially as other indie labels had more of a focus on post-punk and alternative. But the biggest Welsh language record label for most of their existence, certainly. So, presumably Ruth Maddock and Bill Tarmey killed it off. or at least choked it to a fugue.
I looked up the writers on Discogs here, and there's no credits for them doing anything other than this. But the producer, Mike Timoney, the following year he produced Bill Tarmey and Liz Dawn's single, I'll Be With You Soon.
And did that get in the charts?
Might have done.
No, I know. At least one did. That was it Liz Dawn and Joe Longthorne.
Oh,
had a
yeah.
hit. And Bill Tarmey had a hit as well. So they both had some chart success.
But in 85, Mike Timoney produced the new Smurf song by Mel Harvey. So I don't know what that was all about.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Mel Harvey, the new Smurf song on the B-side, disco version.
Good.
The Smurf song has been released to coincide with the current nationwide theatre tour by the Smurfs, and we hope you like the disco version.
In 1985.
In 1985.
Peak era of disco.
Well, I'm sorry. I've really diverged from our brief here, but...
well, let me bring it back with you from a piece I found in the Daily Mirror.
Okay.
On Thursday, the 11th of January, 1990. Mother-to-be Linda Tucker laughed so much at the panto antics of Heidi High star Ruth Maddock that she went into labour.
Oh, my word.
And shortly after the curtain came down on the show, the 32-year-old gave birth to a daughter in hospital. She was enjoying the performance of Robinson Crusoe at Cardiff when her pain started, and she has since received a visit at home from Ruth Maddock, who popped in to see the baby, which I thought was a rather lovely story. Nettles couldn't give a shit.
Another of your newspaper archive cuttings that you pulled out was as an old one. I can't remember. Ruth Maddock plays Elizabeth in Robert and Elizabeth. But it ends with her likes and dislikes. And one of her dislikes is facetious children, which seems oddly specific. Facetious children pandered teenagers and idleness, which sounds a very pointed, directed at somebody she knows.
She came up through the 70s doing a lot of theatre and stuff, and she was in an ITV drama called Hunter's Walk. That's where she kind of made her name, along with Duncan Preston, later off of Victoria Wood, and David Simeon, who is that bloke from End of Part 1. You'll know him as soon as you see his face. You've seen End of Part 1. So she did loads of stuff. It just feels like she's just been reduced to one role.
Also, let's not forget, you mentioned Philip Maddock earlier, her husband, who is more famous for saying, "What is your name?" than pretty much anything Ruth Maddock has ever done.
Well, yeah, more sitcom history, I suppose, there. And of course, the answer is, his name is Pike. Oh, shit, what a giveaway. I think that's it. I think that's it, isn't it? That's something like that. So let's move on to John Nettles. Not stinging Nettles, obviously, that'd be irrelevant. Let's say he's the only one who gets the explainer.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, TV Bergerac, which was still on. It had run till 1991, the crime drama set on the Isle of Jersey.
Yeah, the surprisingly crime-ridden Jersey.
Well, it's a good job, really, isn't it? And it's one of those programmes that people always go, oh, yeah, Sunday classic. And it was nearly always on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, nearly every series of it was on Saturday night.
Yeah.
But most of the series of Heidi High were on Sundays. So I tried to find a schedule with both programmes in, and I could only find them at Christmas.
Oh, okay.
They were always nearby each other, equidistant in the 80s, with Nettles and Maddock. Did you look at what his actual full name is?
Oh, I did.
John Vivian Drummond Nettles.
Well...
Yes, it's a beautiful name, isn't it?
All actors have stupid names, don't they? If you've got a stupid name, you're going to become an actor. I think that's the secret to it.
Well, I've never met another Nettles in my life. I've never met him, to be fair.
I've never met another Nettles I didn't like.
There's a lot of people in old humour comics from the 60s called Old Nettleship.
There is. Yes.
Running schools, but generally, no. Maybe the ship fell off. Or the hip. Maybe his hip fell off. We don't. We can't say. Unlike Ruth Maddox, he's had two pretty big. He's in lots of stuff, but he's had two things that people really know him for: Bergerac and Midsummer Murders.
Yeah.
I think he narrated about 1 million episodes of it was Airport, one of the aeroplane docu-soaps.
So, yeah, he sort of retired from acting, but apart from it, he just continued narrating sort of everything. He's got the lovely sonorous tones about him.
Well, Tony Robinson can't do them all. But I'll tell you which role he didn't get, and that's one which Nettles scooped up from 2003's children's CGI animation, Sindy the Fairy Princess.
Oh, okay.
Which, feel free to look it up now. The animation looks deeply upsetting.
Let me just do that. Sindy, the Fairy Princess, you say?
The Fairy Princess from 2003.
Oh, my shitting Christ.
It starred alongside Rick Mail playing Eulabus the Wand, Shay the Unicorn, and the King. No first name for him, just the King.
I looked up John Nettles' interesting stories to see what wacky things he'd done throughout his life. I thought, we must be able to plunder something out of this. And the best thing I got was Great British Life magazine. A noisy donkey forced a move. Nettles and his wife Catherine Seeley had to move from their home near Stratford-upon-Avon to Devon because one of their rescue donkeys, Hector, was so loud that their neighbours complained.
Oh, poor Hector. I don't like John Nettles anymore.
He's also written a book called Jules and Jackboots, which explored the German occupation of the Channel Islands, a subject on which he became an expert during his 1,000 years on Jersey.
Not sure that's how it works. Like someone who'd been on Coronation Street for 40 years doesn't write a book about cobbles. It's not osmosis you pick things up by.
We don't know nobody's written a book on cobbles.
That's fair, actually, isn't
We
it?
haven't checked that. So if Albert Tatlock has indeed written a book about cobbles, then we'll get to the bottom of it. But it's not something we've already researched, so please don't complain.
Please. Or if you do complain, please complain to Albert Tatlock's ghost, care of cobbles.
There was another interesting thing. It's not an interesting story, but
Is it as interesting about being upset at a donkey?
He said he was a reluctant heartthrob. At the height of Bergerac, Nettles was considered a reluctant heartthrob, with the News of the World running the headline, "All the girls want to grasp Nettles."
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
To be fair, even if it hadn't been true, it's worth it, isn't it? It's worth it for that.
Anyway, that's all.
Definitely.
That's all I really know about John Nettles.
Yeah, I know. He's retired from acting and indeed turned down an offer for a cameo appearance in the 2025 reboot of Bergerac. So, which I never saw because it looked rubbish. It did look like Bergerac.
I watched one and it was fine, and then I forgot it existed and I haven't watched any more. Nettles did a few promo things, didn't he, with the new Bergerac? The
new Bergerac.
Just sort of
Let the new schmoo.
very much so, but with a different car. Imagine Bergerac going around Jersey in a 3-wheeled car. That'd be terrific, wouldn't it?
Also, still alive is Andrew O'Connor. And this was hard because I didn't want to get confused with a respected TV producer, Andrew O'Connor, who helped get Peep Show and Toast of London on air, runs an important TV production company, and co-wrote most of Derren Brown's work on telly.
You don't want to get confused.
I want the guy from Copycat and basically all kids' telly when I was growing up, like On the Waterfront, Kappa 2, and Andrew O'Connor's Joke Machine. Sorry?
What?
What's that?
No.
They're the same person? What?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It's that one. Andrew O'Connor, now very respected TV producer, behind the scenesman. But he was someone who was everywhere when I was a nipper. It was always one of those acts that was good. A bit naff, too, in that way that 80s kids sort of presenters were. But, I don't think I realised how young he was. Like, I think he's 27 when this Robinson Crusoe happens, which is very young. And he'd been around for a few years at that point.
But he kind of knew that kids' TV was naff. He had a self-awareness about him. I've always liked Andrew O'Connor a great deal, despite Copycats. People who don't know, Copycats was sort of a Saturday tea time impersonation show and is largely considered one of the low points of television history.
Very, very standard, middle-of-the-road comedy. Bobby Davro came from there.
I'm doing Frank Spencer, ooh, Betty, that kind of thing.
His stuff, actually, I have revisited some in the last few
course
years,
you have.
and it is hard work. But Andrew O'Connor does some really strange impressions, like he does Kevin Turvey, and he does Rowan Atkinson's ranting man from Not the 9 O'Clock News, which I'm not sure how that goes down at all, really, with an LWT Saturday night audience. But he's definitely one of the brighter spots of that quite grim programme.
But despite that, he is still highly respected, and he was great. I really liked him as a kid. He was always, like Ruth Maddock and John Nettles, never disgraced himself. He was always a lot of fun, a likeable personality.
And how does he connect to someone from the last episode of Panto-splaining?
Ooh, now that is an interesting query. I don't know. Which personality are you thinking of particularly?
I can tell you, it's the fact that him and Richard Cadell were both the Magic Circle's Young Magician of the Year.
Oh.
Cadell in 83
yeah.
and O'Connor in 81. But only one of them stuck his hand up a bear. That we know of.
Andrew O'Connor, if you know different, get in touch.
Yeah, get in touch. We'd like, genuinely. I loved stuff like On the Waterfront and that when I was a kid. And he was in adult stuff as well. Like he did do later program. I mean, he was the second host of Chain Letters after Jeremy Beadle. And I think it was a great shame because Jeremy Beadle had his name in the jingle, didn't he? It went Chain Letters. Whoa, 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 here's Beadle. Do you remember that?
Yes, I think I do. I hadn't thought about it for 1 million years until you just mentioned it.
That's what we're here for, isn't it?
Yeah.
He did all sorts of sort of primetime stuff, and then so the magic's kind of led to him working with Darren Brown and sort of getting into that whole street magic stuff and making programmes. So he's done all right for it, really, hasn't he?
Well, then obviously he founded Objective Productions in, 1990, 1991 or something like that, and has since gone on to be like a billionaire TV mogul.
Powerhouse. And it all started with him stood in a boat in a stripy bread on top.
Looking at the Objective Media Group Wikipedia page, there are obviously a few, should we say, misses there. The Justin Lee Collins show, for one.
Technically, it's not their fault that he ended up being that person. Yeah.
But, all the Darren Brown stuff, the Peter Serafinowicz show.
Which is probably the greatest sketch show of the last 20 years out of the UK.
Peep Show, and, I'm trying to find another good one. I don't want to say Robert's Web.
God. The thing about Robert's Web is that it was piloted as Worldwide Robert, which is a funny title.
That is very good.
But then the Channel 4 made them change to Robert's Web. And, it was just Robert Webb looking at some... when viral video became a thing first, it was that sort of thing. It wasn't very good, but...
It's cheap and people will watch it when they're going to bed and can't find anything else to put on whilst they're scrolling through their phones.
Except now they've got at least one panto-splaining a month to fill that void.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope you are watching it on the big telly. Let us know. Take a picture of you watching this right now and send it to us at pantosplaining.bsky.social, is it? I think that's it.
Something like that.
It's
complicated. But you type panto splaining in, you'll find us. You'll find us.
We're going to move on now to... I'll go with Hope and Keane first. Again, kind of...
Oh, okay.
They do seem a little bit higher on the boat, but that could just be Russell Crowe.
Weighing them down.
But we're going to talk about Hope and Keane. Now, when the idea for this programme first came up was that I was sending panto posters to you because me and a few friends started looking at them. We found this panto archive and we just, we'd go through a year's worth of posters laughing away for an hour or so. And no matter which year we landed on, we always seem to find one with Hope and Keane in. And they are not someone I or them have ever actually seen moving, on television, captured on film, if you will.
No, you look at it and, their golden era seemed to come to an end around about 76, 77 as television goes. And me, born in 72, that's before I was aware of things on television.
There
are a couple of things in later years. They appeared on the Keith Harris show and Crackerjack as one-offs in the 80s. So, you know what? I could have well have seen them on the telly, but it's never registered. It just didn't stick in my mind.
No, not at all. Mike Hope and Albie Keane, a British comedy double act. And they were sort of second wave as their dads were variety stars. And they formed in 1956 and got big in sort of the early 70s, as you say, with BBC One kids shows. Hope and Keane's Crazy House, Hope and Keane's Crazy Bus, and the Hope and Keane's Scene.
Oh, not a crazy scene.
Not a crazy scene. It's quite sedate. The Hope and Keane, quite placid, just having a chill one, thanks, mate. Scene. That was their full title. But they won't put it in the Radio Times. But those titles always stuck in my head as I am one of those people that not only did I read the Guinness Hit Singles books, like you did, just like there were novels just pouring over them. But also the Radio Times Guide to TV Comedy by Mark Lewisham, both volumes of that. And I would just read over and over again because I was fascinated and I'm a sad get, wondering what things like Fred Emney Picks a Pop or The Last Laugh before TVAM were like. And that was always like the Crazy Bus, Crazy House thing. So I'd always wanted to see it, and there's still hardly any. For some reason, there's the opening and closing titles to Crazy Bus and the theme to Crazy House online, and that's pretty much it. They promise,
these shows seem to promise, I assume, much more than they actually give. A show called Hope and Keane's Crazy Bus with that amazing sort of felt pen titles looks like it's going to be the most exciting show in the history of television.
Yeah.
But I can only assume it isn't.
No, I am assuming it is because we have no proof.
Fair enough. Yeah. We'll both go different directions. We'll see who's right.
Well, I'll meet you in the middle. So, yeah, I mean, they seem to do a lot of pantomime, and I found them way back to 1964 with Jimmy Clit Hero.
Hey, that's a highly offensive to somebody who lives near Clitheroe. I'm sorry, Clitheroe.
Clitheroe. Well, it was in Bradford, and it was at the Alhambra. And they've been in Cardiff a whole decade before this in Dick Whittington with Roy Hood and the Reverend off of Dad's Army.
Of course.
And I found them as late as 1997 as a double act with Paul Lation in Swindon. So I don't know if they continued. That's as late as I could find them, but you know, it's considering that they were pretty much off the telly, like, you know, not doing their own thing, at least 15 years before this particular pantomime, and they kept going for nearly another decade. It's kind of impressive.
What are you doing, Mike?
I've just noticed who's in our guest room. Look.
Who?
It's Freddie and the Dreamers.
Looking through Hope and Keene, there's very little to look at, but they did say they were both members of the Grand Order of the Water Rats, which is the famous showbiz industry fraternity, charitable organisation.
Yeah.
And it said that Ruth Maddock was the queen of the Grand Order of Lady Rattlings in 93 or something. So I thought, let's have a look on the old...
Lady Rattlings?
Lady Rattlings.
Is that the actual phrase? That's not just something...
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it was very male or chauvinistic society, but they branched out to allow
is
ladies.
The female rat called a rattling?
It is in showbiz.
All right, okay. Well, I'll ask Roland Rat. I'll say, Roland... Oh, my knee only went for guinea pigs anyway, so it's useless asking him.
It seems maybe not an anachronistic organisation, the Grand Order of Water Rats, but maybe very old-fashioned. I was interested to see what kind of person would be King Rat nowadays. So I had a look on the Wikipedia. The name I recognised most recently, 2023, Chris Emmett, from off of all the Roy Hood things.
And the 321's rep company.
Nicholas Parsons and Dougie Brown around the turn of the decade. Bob the Cat Bevan is the current King Rat, who is after-dinner speaker, general comic entertainer. But again, it's a weird... It's like our panto splaining is a weird glimpse into a distant, different past. This is a weird and different present. But if you look back to 2013 on the list...
Oh, no!
It was our old pal, Sir Jess Conrad, OBE. My assumption here is that he'd been pitching for that since about 1965, and they'd finally just given in and given it to him. But the Grand Order of Water Rats, it's you can imagine them all in blazers and ties, very nicely polished buttons. But yeah, it's a strange old thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got some fantastic, like 85 Les Dawson, 86 Alan Freeman, 87 Danny LaRue, 88 Bernard Breslau, who I thought was dead by then. So you got quite a range of names in there. Roger De Courcy, Bert Whedon is in there, presumably teaching people how to play in a day.
By the 90s, we were sort of the arse end of this classic sort of showbiz era where people were still alive, and I was interested as to who these old-time showbiz stars are nowadays, as it were. Who's the equivalent these days? And it's people. Melvin Hayes there, Kaplan K, Graham Cole
off the bill,
Joe Pasquale there. The sort of classic old school showbiz act that still is kind of relevant today.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
there you go.
Rick Wakeman well, blimey, oh trousers, that is interesting.
I'm just slightly distracted by trying to work out what the criteria are for being a water rat.
I assume it's how much water you can hold in your cheeks
There you go.
for an hour.
Yeah, Rick Wakeman's fine because he's in showbiz, but a member of the public can become a friend of the water rats, and there are also a small number of companion rats, distinguished men from various fields of business and influence, who are not performers, but who have achieved recognition for their support and friendship of the order, including the late Prince Philip, King Charles III, and Prince Michael of Kent.
Okay. I think what I'm most interested in with this, because it's genuinely fascinating, and I would love to know more about this sort of area, is that they didn't have between 1922 and 1926 due to world upheaval, which is a brilliant phrase. Like even through COVID, they kept going with Dougie Brown. So yeah, that's cool. There's some cracking names in there. Some really interesting ones.
I'm trying to see what the earliest name is that I recognise.
Obviously, Will Hay, 1931.
Will Hay, I think, is the first one I recognise, yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that's still kind of well known in the modern. Although Dave O'Gorman from, of course, Are You Dave O'Gorman? And Dave O'Gorman's Google Whack Adventure.
Modern life is rubbish.
Oh, rubbish. Oh, rubbish. So yeah, that's it. With Hope and Keane, they're both dead now. I guess he'd be delighted to know, but I'm just not.
Hooray!
Delighted. Hope died in 2019. Keane died in 2020. So God rest their souls off the panto. We've thrown them off the side of the SS Robinson Crusoe. Russell John Damerol Grant.
Yeah.
Who apparently is dressed as a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for this particular poster. Yeah, I mean, he's probably the most famous now.
Can I do his biog?
Of course you can.
Russell John Damerol Grant is a spherical crackpot made famous by breakfast TV. He's a British con man, liar, and a scammer. He's also a talentless charlatan. Do you know what? I don't even like to call astrology pseudoscience because that includes the word science. It is a game of probability. You sweep your net as far as you can, for example, in a national newspaper, as Russell Grant does, and enough people will agree with your nonsense for you still to be in a job tomorrow. Everything he says should be followed by for entertainment purposes only, but I can't remember when he was ever entertaining. However, he did have a top 87 hit single. As you were.
Well, you know, it's amazing what they put on Wikipedia these days. They're not even checking these days, are they, at all?
No.
Yes, he did. He did have a hit single, didn't he? Which
top
was,
87. A top 87 hit single.
Is that where it got to 87? Russell Grant and the Starlets.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate as anything with lets in. Makes you think of Lillettes, which is, you know. Fine. But he released an album called Russell Grant's Zodiac Jukebox. And I'd like to read you, if I may, from Tim Worthington's excellent Top of the Box Volume 2.
Oh,
the
yes.
complete guide to BBC Records and Tapes albums. I'm sure there'll be some sort of link nearby.
Oh, there will be.
One.
It is one of my favourite books since the Guinness Book of its Singles stopped being published. It is the sort of book you can just read, like, as Benjamin B. Baker said, a novel.
But absolutely. So yeah, he's written up about pretty much every single BBC record releases. Zodiac Jukebox, 1983, REH 491. In what was possibly the ultimate example of an idea which seemed better on paper, BBC Records and Tapes saw fit to release this album, which was made up of Breakfast Time's flamboyant resident astrologer, covering 12 songs tenuously related to signs of the zodiac, including Bad Moon Rising for Cancer. Which is like, I see that's what Stand Up to Cancer. It was the original version. You're So Vain for Leo, and Aquarius for Aquarius. With astrology-themed Motown oldie, no matter what sign you are, thrown in for good measure. The latter was extracted as a single with Where Is Love from Oliver on the B-side.
I wonder if that's online. If that's online, we'll get it. But God almighty, that sounds terrible.
Collectors will no doubt be excited to hear that it was exclusive to this release. And despite a substantial amount of in-show publicity, the album failed to do as well as predicted.
It is so bad that I suspect it's because of the substantial in-show publicity that it flopped, because Russell Grant is no singer.
No, I mean, he's not a lot of things according to, well, most people, let's be honest.
The moon shines bright above, but the charts declare it's not my night for love. Oh, deep in my heart, I feel a good vibration. Good vibration. You and me, babe, would make a good combination. There's no need to look.
Still very much pumping out the whatever your taste on astrology may be. Apparently at one point it was being a pet psychic. But you can go on his website and connect with people. It shows you which psychics you can connect to right now and chat to them.
We've got his predictions you found from the end of 1979. Did you look up whether they came true or not? Because
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't I forgot about that. Did you?
I've got the answers.
Oh, you have got the answers?
I've got the answers.
Oh, okay.
He says his first prediction: Yorkshire Ripper will be caught at the end of 1980, and a town beginning with H will be significant. Do you think he got that one right?
No, it's not true because he was caught in
The Yorkshire Ripper was caught on the 2nd of January 1981 in Sheffield. So
Sheffield. Yeah, that's yeah.
that's a big X for that one on Russell Grant's prediction. Prince Charles will need to watch his health between January and July. Beware cars or electricity if he isn't careful.
Or electricity. I mean, I'm going to assume that nothing untoward happened to Prince Charles in 1980.
In May 1980, he received injuries to his face during a polo match at Windsor Great Park, which required stitches. Nothing to do with cars,
Right.
nothing to do with electricity. And,
Is that a half then?
no points at all. He got it wrong. He got it absolutely wrong. In July, he did begin his courtship of Lady Di.
Okay.
So,
Maybe that's what you think is because when they was together, it was electricity.
Russell's next prediction is that VAT will be removed from theatre admissions early in 1980. Do you think he got that right or got that wrong?
No.
VAT exemption for admission charges to certain cultural performances, including theatre, was introduced in the UK on the 1st of June 1996.
Ooh, 10 pence short.
Marlene Dietrich will become seriously unwell at the end of 1980. Do you think he got that right or wrong?
I must admit, I thought she was already dead by 1980. So I'm still going to say no.
She died in 1992, aged 90.
Really?
There is no record of her being unwell in 1980.
I didn't realise she'd lived that long.
Olivia Newton-John will make big news in Australia, but she needs to be careful to make sure she has the law on her side. Do you think Olivia Newton-John made big news in Australia in 1980?
I mean, I suppose she was from Australia and she had a big pop career in the early 80s. So, was Physical the year after? Was it 81?
It was, but in 80...
Xanadu's 80, isn't it?
In 80, indeed, she was big news everywhere, especially America, where she'd been in her first film since Grease, the musical Fantasy Xanadu. The soundtrack was certified double platinum and scored 5 top 20 singles, including the number one, Magic. So she was big news everywhere. So well done, Russell.
Yeah.
No points for that one.
I am not pushing any belief of one way or the other.
I am.
It's subtly, I'm subtly weaved through what we really believe here. So you have to really pay attention to see what his actual opinions
I
are.
think my opinion is that if you believe in astrology, you're a moron.
Hey, I'll tell you something. He's got his own downloadable monthly magazine,
Has he?
on his website. Yeah, he does.
Wow.
He does.
What's in this monthly magazine? And
I'm going to assume bollocks.
Right.
I don't know. Again, what's in his magazine? You tell me.
Excellent. You haven't downloaded one then? Do you have to pay for this downloadable weekly
Oh, no, I
magazine?
haven't looked at it. No, it's free.
Oh, it's free?
It's on his website.
Oh, I'll get one and we'll put it on
It's
screen now. And I'm looking at his website now. Christ almighty. Is that the only face he can pull?
Wind.
I'm looking at the bottom. It says dreams and what they mean. I dreamed about barbecue. What does barbecue mean in a dream? A sure sign that friends or relatives are about to impose on your good nature.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay, so everyone else is wrong. You're right. That's basically what we're selling here.
I dreamed about periscope. What does periscope mean in a dream? Surprise news from a distance is about to give you a shock.
Not an erection, then.
Well, and you know what? We'll do one more because it's related to elf-splaining. I dreamed about alien.
No.
What does alien mean in a dream? Meeting aliens predicts important changes. See yourself as an alien and valuable new friends are about to enter your life.
Well, there's been a lot of entering with Alf, certainly, and exiting. So, well, there you go. Thanks, Russell Grant. Do you know what? What I'm interested in from Russell is money.
Okay.
Specifically,
Yes.
the actor and comedian Lynn Mittel, otherwise known by the stage name Owen Money. And there he is. Maybe let's not think too much about that one.
I say it's a different time. It doesn't feel like it was a different time.
No, that is the problem. That's very much the problem, isn't it?
The late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, someone's gone, just paint a comedy savage person on there. That'll be funny, won't it? No, it's not. It's not good. Although it's still better than because we were trying to decide between two posters from this particular area, and the other one had Dave Benson Phillips in it, which is like that's progressive, someone who isn't white on here, and these. Yes. No apologies. No apologies. No apologies. We just need to know that we've seen it. We've seen it. And, yeah. So did you realise that Owen Money wasn't his real name?
Only when Wikipedia helpfully pointed out that it is a pun on owing money.
I went on his website, which has a brilliant section called Multimedia, which proves how up to date it is. I was born in Merthyr Tydfil, home of the best football team in the world, the Martyrs, and grew up in the South Wales valleys. I started my career in show business as a bass guitarist and lead singer with a pop group, The Bystanders, who had hits in the 60s on the Pie label, which was fortunate because if you did like music, you could always eat the record.
That's good.
But no, I have been told that we were one of the best harmony bands in Britain at the time.
Talking of his bands, what I want the listeners to do now is a little experiment. I want them to go on like Chat PG Tips or something and come up with two things. One is the most cliched 1960s sounding band names that you can, and also the most 60s sounding blokes names. Do that, and then this paragraph from his Wikipedia page. Owen Money was the bassist of Merthyr Tydfil-based band The Crescendos, who amalgamated with another band, The Rebels, to form The Bystanders in 1962. Mittel changed his name to Jerry Braden and became lead singer with Mickey Jones, Clive John, Ray Williams and Jeff Jones. Jerry Braden left The Bystanders in 1967, replaced by Vic Oakley from The Meteorites, who was in turn replaced by Deke Leonard when The Bystanders became Man, which is actually a band I've actually heard of.
Oh, yeah, no. I have.
Owen Money formed comedy entertainment act Tomfoolery in 1974. That's Glenn Ponder and Tomfoolery. The band would later include ex-lead singer Brian Conley.
Ah, not Connolly. Not the one from The Suite. The actual Brian Connolly.
The actual one, yeah. The main one.
But apparently, he's been on BBC Radio Wales with his programme Money for Nothing since 1987. He's still there every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with that very same programme. And he won 2 Sony Gold Awards, one for Regional Broadcaster of the Year, and the other for Best Music Sequence Programme of the Year.
Oh.
I don't really understand what that means. It's some music is in a sequence. That's all music radio programmes in it. Don't know. But he did. He won it. We didn't. He won it. So.
Had you ever heard of Owen Money before looking at this poster?
Yes, because I'm looking at other panto posters. That's it. No.
It's like I know the name, and
no, he's a big Welsh name. Any Welsh listeners or viewers right now will be like, yeah. He was on the telly. He had a game show, I believe, at one point, and he's been on a lot, but it never quite broke to the rest of the UK. And glad he got out of that cooking pot.
Oh yeah, I am too. Yeah.
So we've got 2 names left: Claire Rimmer and the Olive Guppy Olivettes. And as far as I'm presumably aware, it's the Claire Rimmer that I found here was originally one of the original cast in Evita in the West End with David Essex and Elaine Page. And I found a news story which said, actress and singer Claire Rimmer overcame a much bigger challenge than stage fright when she walked on after a backstage incident. Temporary blindness.
Oh.
She was due to open a production of Gilbert and Sullivan's Mikado when a stagehand swung one of her bags onto his shoulder and hit her in the eye.
Crikey.
The metal zip scraped across her eyeball.
Oof.
Instantly blind her in one eye, and the shock made her lose sight in the other.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's not great. But it says that she's friends with some of the biggest names in the business, including John Nettles. Griff Rhys-Jones, Bernard Cribbins, Michael Elphick, Rory McGrath, and her favourite Les Dawson. She even had a year-long relationship with John Hurt, who took her to Hollywood at the height of his Elephant Man fame. She said, he's a fabulous actor and used to read Shakespeare to me. And apparently she's sometimes mistaken for Sue Lawley.
Oh, okay.
And she was in some Bernard Matthews adverts, apparently, as well. And sadly, she's no longer with us. She died in 2008 far, far too young. So, yeah, assuming that is the same one, which I believe it is, quite a fascinating little career they had, popping up in all sorts of stuff. And I'm only sort of glossing over now because I realise we've been talking for quite a long time.
Everybody wants to get to the Olive Guppy Olivettes, and I've just been waffling on about 60s band names, and I do apologise.
Mostly because Olivette sounds like an old computer from the 90s. Olivette, you see. Olive Guppy apparently provided dancers for pantomimes for over 30 years for various ones. So there were lots and lots of ones. There is a Facebook group dedicated to all the people who've been part of that group. And she died in 2013. So she had a good old innings. And apparently, Torchwood star John Barrowman announced her death after a performance of Robin Hood at Cardiff's New Theatre. Like, you see, he had his cock out during that.
Well, I hope you said when after a performance, it was whilst he was still on stage and not sort of wandering around backstage with his gentleman hanging out, as is his famous and totally unproblematic way. You know, there it is, flapping away in the breeze, and he's going, "Oh, by the way, Olive Guppy's dead."
Windmilling at the time. Yeah.
It's what she would have wanted.
I do apologise if anyone feels that we've been disrespectful anyways. As I said, these aren't people we necessarily know that well,
Look,
but we love this stuff.
We've been disrespectful to Russell Grant and John Barrowman and nobody else.
Fair.
Everybody else we have the utmost respect for.
I tell you, speaking of respect, I found a review from the Stage newspaper from January 1990
Of this
particular production. Yes,
right, not John Barrowman's penis then.
Let me just check. It's about half of it's about that.
Right, okay.
So I'll skip that bit.
Ignore that bit.
Daniel Defoe's gritty tale of the marooned Robinson Crusoe is hardly one of the better stories suitable to traditional pantomime. Is it? Is it not? I don't there's loads of them. But apparently it's glitzy, lavishly costumed and decored, which bears all the hallmarks of a festive seasonal success. Ruth Maddock, fresh from touring in Gypsy, retained some of the abrasiveness of that musical in the title role as glamorised principal boy Mr. Crusoe. John Nettles, clearly relishing his temporary escape from Bergerac, was a dramatic piratical Bluebeard. And his Michael Jackson send-up proved a memorable highlight. Which I'm so desperate.
Oh my word!
To see that. What way do you think they describe Russell Grant's Dame Crusoe? 2 words: roly-poly. As broad as they come, though perhaps less plugging of the astrological sideline would have been an improvement. Hope and Keem are reliably entertainingly laid back, as usual, as captain and mate. And the supports were fine, with Claire Rimmer, the brightest of northern stars, and Owen Money as a truly likeable Welsh harbour master.
Likeable.
But Andrew O'Connor was outstanding as Billy, with an engaging manner that proved an immediate hit with the children and an assuredness of touch that marked him down as a truly natural panto artist.
Good.
So there you go. There you go. It gives you a flavour of it, and hopefully we did too, even though we just looked at some faces on a poster.
Yeah, and once again, I apologise for the diversions, but it's why you love panto-splaining. You never know where we're going to end up.
Hey, and if we don't end up in a big cooking pot surrounded by hideous stereotypes, then that'll be good for us, I think.
Yeah.
Who, let's be honest, we are the new Hope and Keen.
We're no hope and we're not keen.
Yeah, we're not that keen. And there you go. There is another panto splained for you.
It was fun, wasn't
it? Thank you, as always, for watching this. It seems to be picking up rather nicely every month.
We do appreciate all your listenerships, and I'll give a big shout out to my sister, who said she likes this much more than Alf-splaining. So.
Good. That's your sister Jenny from Spray.
Jenny from Spray.
So,
you might have heard of her.
That's a celebrity endorsement there.
Not of our other podcast.
No, in fact, he's very much the opposite for the other podcast. It's like, don't listen to that. Do listen to this one. And presumably you have done. You've got this far. So please do let people know. Share the link if you see it about, and tell people if you think they like old celebrity, old pop culture things from the 70s, 80s, 90s. We're going to be bringing it every month throughout the year. Even though panto season is over, we are going to march on.
Ben makes a good point there. We were pondering doing an Easter panto for Easter.
Yeah.
But we couldn't really find any good ones. So if you out there have ever seen panto at Easter, because they do them, please let us know, and we'll maybe do it next year when we're more famous.
The way he said that was like, we'll be more famous and therefore we'll be in them. So it's not.
That'd be great. We could be the Chinese policeman.
Oh. I'm off to regret everything. Goodbye.
Cheerio, everybody. See you next month.
Ta-ra.